Mad World by David Royce. You don't get to tell me about suffering, about pain, about living on the thin strip of a razor's edge. That's reserved for my kind. I have blood on my hands, and I'm not speaking metaphorically. I don't give one good damn about your God, your political savior, or your social media influencers who tell you what a great life you'll have if only you believe. No, fuck off and twist your nipples in with that shit. I lived it all. I applied myself. I'd lived the American dream. I went from wannabe college dropout to the man everyone wanted to be. My wife, Shania, was an ideal which you can never achieve. She wouldn't even give you a glance as she strutted her way through the supermarket. My success was one of faith, something you'll never comprehend. You're such a sad representation of my suffering. I have no pity for you. I have not one iota of empathy. You want my secrets. You desire my secrets. I scream, fuck you. You don't deserve it. You're weak and floundering, a catfish caught by an errant hook, struggling for air even as your fate in a frying pan is already sealed. Sad. But if you want so much to reach inside of me and pull my guts out from the inside, let me tell you this. You'll regret it. You'll regret that wretched choice when you thought you wanted to examine, prod, and poke me until I gave up all my secrets. Yet here you are, asking, almost begging for that revelation. Okay, fine by me. But just know, I never wanted this. The beginning. I was never a popular child. That's not a surprise considering. But I wanted to be part of something. Athletic, chess club, goth, nerd, or any combination. I just wanted in. I wanted to be included without having to beg for it. But I never was. It was surprising that I even survived the prom. Dateless and hopeless, yet here I was. But let's go back to the beginning. My dad was a factory worker. He did factory things, and he was mostly content with his soul-sucking life. What a waste, right? My mom was even worse. She claimed to be a nurse, yet never worked a day in her life as far as I knew. She would often say things like, "Let me clean that up. I know what I'm doing because I'm a nurse," when I would accidentally cut myself. Now, cutting would be an art form for me eventually, but that's for later. Between Dad's skill at disappearing and Mom's overbearing presence, I became what you see today. You don't like me, I know. You despise me, I know. That's all right. I feel nothing for you, but I digress. It became apparent at the age of 13, one night in particular that changed me forever. I was in my bedroom, razor blades and knives twirling between my fingers in a sadistic dance. My bedroom door opened. Now, I don't take blame for what happened next. I mean, a child deserved his privacy, right? After all, the squirrel, raccoon, and possum hides, surely any reasonable adult would second guess entering. There, my mother, with her concerned look on her face. You're sick, you're twisted, you need help. She never said those words aloud, but I knew. Could see it in her eyes. Her mask of love was disgusting. I reacted. Of course I did. Wouldn't you? I was almost to orgasm as the blade slowly scraped the skin off my penis. Such glory, such ecstasy. But she ruined it, and I reacted to her presence. I'm sorry I'm not like you and your ever-present love for your mother figure. So condemn me for the overreaction. I was surprised. I slit her throat as if it were an overripe melon. Glorious. Her crimson juices sprayed from ceiling to floor to me. A fountain of forgiveness. 'Cause what kind of mother would she be if she didn't forgive her only son? It wasn't a surprise at how fucked up I was, but it also wasn't a surprise at how fucked up my mother was at that point. I convinced that overweight piece of shit sheriff that Mama had slit her throat in front of me. The doubt was written all over his jowly face like graffiti sprayed wall, But he went with the path of least resistance. Lazy and incompetent like most of y'all. I was sent to live with my aunt on my daddy's side. She was horrible. Always berating me. Her presence was like a dark cloud. I learned to walk on eggshells. I could never tell what would make her break. When she spoke, it was only to criticize. A slap across the face here, a belt across the back there. People wonder why I didn't kill her too. Well, let me tell you. Aunt Belinda made me who I am. She taught me to observe, taught me to be patient. You see, any little thing could set her off, but I never knew what exactly. And that lesson and observation informs me to this day. She was a mean, callous, wicked bitch. She had no love for me, no sympathy left to give. But she was my mentor and sometimes lover. I wouldn't kill anything so precious. When she died on the bottom of her stairs, I didn't mourn. Death is as natural as living. Her heart finally attacked her. Much too late in my opinion, and that was that. I was 17. I left and continued on my way. Do you actually know about addiction? I was never one to hold true about methods. I had no standard victims. Men, women, children. Age doesn't matter. Sex matters even less. I killed those who gave me shit. An errant look, a sideways disapproving glance, a taunt from a playground. Didn't matter. While you might think that's a weak reason for the path of bloodshed I've caused, I'll tell you different. Because once you allow those glances, looks, and snide remarks coming from under someone's breath, you'll always be a victim. You knock someone out in a fight at a bar, and they come back with friends in tow to give you a beatdown. But you punch that man, and then pick up a brick and smash it into his skull until it's a red shiny spot on the sidewalk, well, you win. The addiction, for me, didn't come from the kill. It came from the hunt. Once you kill someone, that's all you'll think about. The build-up to the next one. You're wandering the streets, picking and choosing. It's building up inside of you. You go from a wide beam of light to a pinprick. And when you find your next, you act. The release is better than the best sex you've ever had and more intoxicating than the best drug you've taken. Yeah, you didn't find anything because you were looking at it all wrong, a common failing. You look for patterns and methods. You know, Kelly Oskowski was just a nice guy who gave me a ride on his boat one day. He asked me why I didn't have a home with a shitty, disapproving look in his beady eyes. Yeah, you'll find him in the belly of an alligator. Steve West took me in to celebrate his daughter's 10th birthday party in a public park. Little Bethany decided to mock my disheveled appearance. Yeah, she's in a shallow grave down at the end of a trailhead. And Shelley DeBorse spit in my face as she and her bitchy girlfriends passed me by on a sidewalk one day. I eventually found her, almost passed out in her bedroom, thinking she was safe. And now she's in pieces, flushed to the sewers, where rats can gnaw on her tasty bits. We all have it in us, that desire for revenge. I'm not an anarchist. I'm not nihilistic. I don't take trophies from my victims. What's the point? Inside you and your holier-than-thou attitude is a monster waiting to escape. I want to see law and order continue. I don't want societal collapse. Otherwise, a perfectly fine addiction becomes a job, a chore. I don't want to fight and kill every day, just when I want. Praise the police and Blue Lives Matter and all that political bullshit. I don't need your sympathy. Well, you caught me now. Congratulations. Bravo. Job well done. But do you have any idea how many more like me are out there? I've seen them. Kind recognizes kind. They might be hidden for now, not your problem. But they will be, though. Let me sign this confession and be on with my life. I'd rather be on the inside than live through what's going to happen out there. We'll always be here. We'll always walk your hollowed sidewalks and alleyways. And we'll always be watching and waiting for your response. The end.